Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Think you've seen all the best isekai out there? Think again. We've dug deep to uncover some hidden gems and forgotten masterpieces that deserve way more attention. These underrated isekai will transport you to magical worlds you never knew existed, and might just become your next anime obsession. Get ready for the top 10 underrated isekai anime you need to watch. If you enjoy the list, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more awesome anime content, and let's dive right in. In the Land of Leadale, Kaina Kagami, who was previously bedridden, finds herself in the world of her beloved Leadale after her life support system breaks. Reincarnated in the body of her high-level character, Kaina, she discovers that the world of Leadale differs from what she remembers playing. She discovers that it has been 200 years since she last communicated with the outside world. This, however, does not depress Kaina because it means that she is about to embark on a new trip full of fascinating opportunities and strange faces waiting to be discovered. Kamikatsu, working for God in a godless world. Yukito Urabe performs a rite to become the new leader of his father's cult, believing that the omnipotent deity Mitama would come to save him. But when the youngster drowns during the rite, he wishes to be reincarnated in a world free of gods and religion, reawakening in a non-spiritual environment. He meets a wayward girl named Aruru, who shows him around her community. His ideal view of the world's culture is dashed when he witnesses a public group suicide and learns about the country's end-of-life system, which allows the government to order the death of any citizen at any time. Aruru and her sister are forcibly taken for execution shortly after, leading Yukito to rush to their aid, but to no avail. In a time of desperation, Yukito recalls his father's teachings and prays to Mitama to save them. A tiny girl appears to answer his appeal, descending from the skies and annihilating everyone who has wronged Yukito and his comrades. To Yukito's surprise, the girl identifies herself as Mitama. A salad bowl of eccentrics. Private Detective Suzuki Kaburai is just trying to make ends meet when Sarah de Odin, an imperial princess from another realm, falls through a portal and on top of him. Sarah, unaware that she is an abnormality in a magicless world, casts tremendous charms in public, generating a disturbance and compelling Sasuke to take her home with him. Sarah adjusts to life in Japan with the help of the internet, comics, and modern Japanese comforts, eventually becoming Sasuke's assistant. Meanwhile, Sarah's personal knight, Livia de Udis, travels through the portal but arrives in a different area. There, she meets a homeless man who immediately accepts her unusual past and characteristics. Despite her circumstances, Livia rapidly adjusts and settles into the homeless existence, a far cry from the regal position she formerly held. While Sarah and Livia live diverse lifestyles, their cheerful and ambitious mindsets have a long-term impact on everyone around them, as they experience both the good and bad of Japan. I'm in love with the Villainess. Ryohashi is a burned-out office worker by day and Otome gaming heroine Ray Taylor at night. After a hard day at work, Ray immerses herself in the world of Revolution, her favorite dating sim, as a student at Bower Kingdom's famous Royal Academy. Rather than focusing on the male love interests, Ray is obsessed with the game's villain, Claire Francois. However, Ray's tiredness finally takes its toll one evening and she dies. When Ray opens her eyes again, she discovers herself reincarnated as Ray and in the company of her beloved Claire. Given this wonderful opportunity, she wastes no time in expressing her affection for the golden-haired villain and her adorable attempts at bullying. Winning Claire's heart is not an easy feat, especially because the game consistently throws. Recreators. Humans have created innumerable universes, each one based on the creator's unique vision. Suda Mizushino, a high school student, aims to be a creative by writing and illustrating his own light book. One day, while watching anime for inspiration, he is briefly transported to a violent combat scene. When he returns to the actual world, he notices something is wrong. Silesia Upatilia, the anime's headstrong heroine, has somehow returned with him. Other fictitious characters soon come in the globe, bringing with them their homes, dreams, and scars. A royal knight, a magical maiden, a ferocious brawler, and many more now swarm Japan's streets. The most mysterious one, however, is a woman in full military garb known as Gunpaku no Himejimai, who knows far more than she should about the creator's universe. Despite this, no one knows her real name or where she is from. Meanwhile, Suda and Silesia collaborate with Meteora Österreich, a calm and composed librarian NPC, to determine the purpose behind the abnormal events. With enormous forces at work, the once clear barrier between reality and imagination begins to blur, resulting in a fatal encounter between creators and those they created. Loner life in another world. Haruka, a high school student, has always been a content loner. One day, he and his classmates are unexpectedly transported to another world and given skill points to choose from a variety of abilities and magical powers. Unfortunately, Haruka arrives last, and he can only utilize his points on obviously ridiculous skills that the others are not interested in. Although he is back on his own and must acclimate to his new existence alone, he enjoys it that way. Haruka's pleasant alone is short-lived, as he runs into several of his classmates. Weak to their appeals for help, he ends up sheltering and assisting them in reuniting with the others. However, the many cliques are unable to see eye to eye, prompting Haruka to find a solution to cease the infighting and restore unity in order to thrive in the foreign world. Didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? Misato Kurihara has stood out from others for most of her life due to her extraordinary character, and she has lived without the delight of close friends or the experience of a regular life. However, following an unexpected death, she was transferred to a divine realm to be reincarnated, and allowed one further wish. Thinking about the everyday life she had always desired, she wished to be born as a normal person, with powers appropriate for the world she would resurrect in. Reborn as Adele von Ascom, the daughter of a nobility, she possesses magical abilities much beyond what one would consider typical. Still determined to live the life she desired, she leaves her parents and enrolls at a hunter school in a distant kingdom under the Identity Mile. However, no matter how hard she tries to hide her overwhelming talent, she will find it difficult to achieve her goal, especially when confronted with the strange scenarios that arise. Sasaki and Peeps. Sasaki, a 39-year-old corporate employee, has decided to live a simple life free of dreams and hazards. To his great surprise, his fate takes a cruel turn when he decides to adopt a Java sparrow named Paichon. The talking bird is a reincarnation of a famous magician from another world, and it decides to give Sasaki some of its talents, including the ability to travel between realms. Sasaki develops a thriving business of selling technology things from his world to the less evolved culture on the opposite side. Sasaki's life becomes even more chaotic when he uses his new skills to stop an attempt on a woman's life. Unfortunately, the woman Sasaki saved is also a government agent named Hashizaki, who is entrusted with tracking down brilliant people like him. Forced to join Hashizaki's secret agency, Sasaki undertakes risky missions to locate other skilled criminals. He doesn't even have the option of hiding in the other world, where war is likely to break out. If he wants to keep peace in both realms, Sasaki must become the hero no one expects him to be. The Dungeon of Black Company. Kinji Nanomiya has finally realized his aim of living a self-sustainable NET lifestyle. Looking down on ordinary people commuting during a typhoon from the penthouse of one of his apartment buildings, Kinji prepares to begin his new, slothful life. All of his efforts, however, are for naught when an unexpected doorway appears beneath him. Kinji is teleported to another world and forced to work for a mining firm that prioritizes profits over employee safety and well-being. Refusing to live in such conditions, he begins creating schemes to get wealthy rapidly, forming contacts with others in this new society, and doing everything he can to avoid the strict corporate existence. Will Kinji be able to overcome his limitations and achieve financial freedom once more? How a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom. Following the death of his grandfather, 19-year-old Kazuya Soma, an ambitious civil servant, is left alone with no one to call family. He is unexpectedly sent to the Elfrieden Kingdom, a little sick country in another world, to serve as a hero. And protracted war with the demon army has put the entire planet in danger, and Kazuya has been summoned to assist in the conflict as a gift from Elfrieden to its allies. Dissatisfied with being exploited as a tribute, Kazuya vows to assist the kingdom in revitalizing its dwindling economy, not through adventure or conflict, but by administrative reform. After being declared king of Elfrieden and betrothed to the princess, the realist hero Kazuya sets out to create a crew of skilled citizens who will help him in his bureaucratic struggles to get the kingdom back on track. So these were the top 10 underrated Isekai animes you must watch. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any videos like this in the future. Keep sharing your thoughts with us down in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.